What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Zero Lab. Today we're taking a look at a Charizard EX deck in Pokemon TCG Pocket, and the question that we want answered is Charizard potentially the answer to the new Arceus Dialga meta? Obviously, Arceus decks are doing very, very well in the new meta with the Triumphant Light set, and I do think that Charizard could be the counter that we're looking for in this format. Obviously, Charizard hasn't changed a ton. We haven't gotten any new consistency cards for it from the Triumphant Light set, but we're going to take a look at this deck list and then hop into a few games. Playing a 2-2-2 Charizard line, 2 Moltres EX. Obviously, the Moltres is our initial attacker. We jump into the game using this Inferno Dance attack, flip 3 coins, and take an amount of fire energy from our energy zone equal to the number of heads and attach it to our benched fire Pokemon in any way we like. So that's how we're going to be powering up our Charizards. We have 2 potions in here to help our Moltres survive a few more turns, 2 X speeds to retreat out of Charmanders or whatever into the Moltres, or retreat out of the Moltres when we're ready to go with our Charizard EX. 2 Pokeballs, 2 Pokecoms. We just need to find our evolutions more quickly, so as much consistency as we can have in the deck to research a Sabrina and a Dawn. Obviously, the Dawn can help us. We retreat out of the Moltres, but we still have an energy on it, so Dawn can keep our Charizard EX powered up by moving that energy off. So I think this deck could be the answer to the meta, and I'm really curious to see how it goes. Not jumping into an event match, we're jumping into a random match here with the Charizard deck, and we'll see how it goes. But while we're jumping into this first game, don't forget to like on this video, drop a comment down below what you think of this deck, what you think of Pokemon Pocket in general, what you think of the new format, how it's shaping out, and then subscribe to our channel. We are actively working to build this channel, and subscriptions and likes and comments help us out a lot along the way. We're going first, so we don't get to have that turn 1 Inferno Dance. Looks like we're going up against a Darkrai deck. However, we have a pretty good starting hand. Research, Pokeball, double Research, and Pokeball. Top deck of the Charizard EX. Pokeball finding a Charmander here would be very nice. There is the Charmander. Then we got double Research to help us go find our Charmeleons. Looking to be in a pretty good position. There's our Charmeleon. Second Pokeball coming down. We either find us a Moltres or our second Charmander. It is the second Charmander. And we're off to the races here. When this deck gets set up quickly, there is not much that a lot of decks in the game can do. Not a lot of things are able to one-shot 180 HP Charizard EX. Druddigon coming down. Research from our opponent. Going to draw them a few cards. Attach for turn. That Nightmare Aura going to do 20 to our Moltres EX. Pass back over to us. We're going to attach for... Oh, I've thrown. Didn't mean to attach to the Charmander. Don't misclick in the game, folks. That's no fun. But we're going to be all right. We're just going to pass here. An unfortunate misclick, but we can deal with that. Waiting to see what they do. Do they just retreat out into the Druddigon? Seems like they won't. Alright, we've got the Charizard. Don't make the same mistake again. Don't attach the Charmeleon. That would have been crazy. Evolve up into our Charizard. Potion here so we do not get knocked out next turn. And Inferno Dance. One heads. All right, one heads. And that'll go onto our Charizard EX. Nightmare Aura, going to do 20 to the Moltres. Dark Prism will do another 80. Pokecom, finding either Charmeleon or Moltres here is great. We're just trying to avoid like a Sabrina thing. Attaching to our Charmander that turn was so unfortunate, but it is what it is. There's a heads. We just needed one to get the energy onto this Charizard. They're going to take the knockout here with the Nightmare Aura onto our Moltres EX. No, they will not. Just retreating into that Dredagon, then attach for turn to get the KO. However, we have the Sabrina in hand to go after their Darkrai EX if they don't bench anything else. Do they bench anything else? Yes, a second Dredagon. Pass back over to us. All right, Crimson Storm going to take the knockout. And we just got to hope they don't have another one prizer. We can Sabrina around the second Dredagon, and then we should be all right. But still wishing we hadn't thrown early by attaching to our Charmander and not our Moltres. All right, and there is the game. Attached for turn, Sabrina to bring up the Darkrai EX, and we will take the knockout with Crimson Storm. So we made that game a little bit more complicated than we needed to for ourselves, but we got there anyway. So game one taken down with the Charizard EX deck. Even though we misplayed, we were still able to win. So that is good. On to the game two we go with the Charizard EX. Hoping to hit a Arceus deck here. Obviously, that's what we want to try this out against. Are we good into the Arceus Dialgas and those sorts of decks? So we're going to jump into another battle here. One of the tough things, I think, against the Arceus Dialga is if we don't get set up quickly. Obviously, their Arceus can one-shot our Moltres. Their Arceus does 130, and then they could play a Giovanni, which would get them to that 140. We're going second here, so as long as we start the Moltres, we're going to be very happy. We do start the Moltres, and again, we have a very good starting hand. Charmander, Charizard, Pokeball, and Research in hand to start the game. Looks like we've got Metal Energy, so this could be what we were just asking for, the Arceus Dialga deck. Pass over to us. Two Charizard EXs in hand. Pokeball going to come down. Finds us a second Moltres EX. We're going to play the Research. Double Potion. All right, we'll bench the Moltres. Attach for turn. Inferno Dance going to come down onto the Charmander. Three tails. That's unfortunate. Seems to happen a lot in TCG Pocket. Alright, attach for turn onto the Dialga. Research from our opponent. pass back over to us. We've got the Sabrina in hand. No Charmeleons yet, but we're going to Inferno Dance onto the Charmander. Hopefully we can hit a few heads this time. There's 1 heads. 2 heads. That's great. Those are going to come down onto the Charmander. Now it's just a matter of time. We have Research, 2 Charmeleon, and 2 Pokemon Communications in deck to help us out. So 4 of our 10 cards can help us get there to our Charmeleon. Metallic Turbo going to come down on to our Moltres EX. It's all probably going to be riding on, can we get the Charizard going? There's another Charmander. Double Potion will at least save our Moltres, hopefully for another turn. Inferno Dance. Yikes. That is not necessarily what we needed there. All right, now 4 of our 9 cards can help us out. 5 of our 9 cards can help us out. 2 Charmeleons, 2 Pokecoms, and a Research. If they have the Giovanni in hand, we will probably just see a retreat out of the Dialga into the Arceus to take the knockout. And this is the problem with these stage 2 decks. You can get yourself in a lot of trouble by just not finding your stage 1 evolutions in time. Attach Return, though, coming down onto the Dialga EX. That's going to buy us another turn, which is huge. Pokecom, there it is. That will guarantee us the Charmeleon. We're going to throw the Charizard EX back in the deck. Charmeleon now coming out. Question is, what do we do here? Don't know if I want to bench that Charmander, actually. Go with the Heat Blast here. Potion going to heal off some of that damage on the Dialga. Giant Cape as well. Curious what they're going to do here. Heavy Impact. Going to do 100. And that should be actually the game for us. We can retreat out of the Moltres. Attach Return to the Charizard. We will bench the Charmander. And Crimson Storm will take the knockout here. I don't believe they can do anything about this now. I think we're in a very good position. If they Sabrina, for example, we just send up the Charmander. And we have Attach Return onto Charizard EX for the knockout. Another Arceus EX coming down. Attach for turn to Dialga? I think they know there's nothing they can do at this point. Alright. We just attach for turn, take the knockout, and there's the game. So, we did hit the deck we wanted to hit with Charizard, and it does seem to be a fairly good matchup. Took us a while to find our Charmeleon, but we eventually got there. And were able to win that game. We're going to jump into game 3 here with the Charizard EX deck. See if we can continue the streak. Heads, that means we're going first this time. So no turn 1 Inferno Dance. Got Charmander and Charmeleon in hand. Looks like we're going to up against a water deck, which is definitely less good. However, our Moltres is not weak to water. It's weak to lightning, so that's good. Double Charmander. I'm going to hold the second Charmander. The reason being I want some Pokemon communication fodder in case we need to go search for our Charizard EX later. The only way we're really in trouble here is if they get the turn 1 crazy Misty going. So I suppose we'll see. But now just pass it back over to us. There's a Sabrina. We'll evolve up into the Charmeleon. Attach for turn. Inferno Dance. One heads, alright. On to the Charmeleon. Research coming down from our opponent, so no Misty there. That's great for us. We just need to draw into our Charizard EX in time. Rocky Helmet coming down onto the Articuno. And there's an Ice Wing. It's going to do 40. There's our Charizard EX. Alright. We should just sweep with the Charizard EX from here. Going to depend a little bit on our Inferno Dances, but we should be alright. Alright, that is unfortunate, but again, we're going to be alright. We have one more Inferno Dance in us, I think. Perhaps should have thought about benching the Charmander in case of like a Sabrina. We don't want them hitting into our Charizard EX yet, but if they don't bench any other basic Pokemon, that's not too much of an issue either because they just Sabrina our Charizard and we attach and KO. Second Articuno, however, coming down. There's the Sabrina. I was a little bit worried about that. I think we're going to be alright, though. Potion. Alright. Hoping for the best here. That Rocky Helmet going to do 20 back to us. They would need to hit double heads on a Misty. Which they certainly could do. Let's hope they do not. Otherwise, we just have game next turn with Dawn plus attach for turn. There's a research, so no Misty. All right, we win. That's great. Attach for turn. Dawn. They're going to be so mad about the Dawn. There we go. And a Crimson Storm for the knockout here. And there's the concession. All right. So we were able to win there with the Charizard EX as well. I think this deck is really well positioned in the meta. It has the same issues Charizard has always had, which is finding your Charizards, Charmeleons, whatever, in time. But yeah, I do think that it gives you a pretty good matchup into the Arceus deck. So I would recommend giving Charizard EX another shot in the Triumphant Light meta. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video.